and welcome to SG Global News. From the return of a magnificent relic to the majestic Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris to the passing of a missionary sister who helped deliver over 40,000 babies in Africa, we have many stories to cover. The crown of thorns believed to have been placed on Christ during his passion has been returned to Notre Dame Cathedral after 5 years. The sacred relic is now housed in a new reliquary behind the high altar, surrounded by glass halos.
The crown of thorns, believed to be the one placed on Christ during his passion, was returned to Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris on Friday after being saved from the devastating fire in 2019. The relic, one of the most revered treasures of Christian history, has been venerated for centuries as a profound symbol of Christ's suffering and sacrifice. Tradition holds that the crown was brought to France in 1238 by King Louis IX, who acquired it from Constantinople. He built the Sainte-Chapelle in Paris specifically to house this sacred relic. The cathedral, which underwent extensive reconstruction following the fire, was reopened last week during an event attended by many dignitaries from around the world, including US President-elect Donald Trump. According to TV5 Monde, the relic's return on Friday took place in the presence of numerous priests and the faithful. The event was followed by a mass celebrated by the Archbishop of Paris, Monsignor Laurent Ulrich. For us Christians, it is a symbol to see the crown of Christ again. It was a very beautiful moment, a 72-year-old woman, Claudine Zorzi, was quoted as saying by the media. The crown of thorns return to Notre Dame marks a significant moment of hope and renewal for Christians and for Paris as the city continues to recover from the tragedy of the fire.
Are we witnessing a revival of Christian faith in the United States? Archbishop Timothy P. Broglio celebrated Holy Mass at Capitol Hill on the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and a nativity scene was displayed on the steps of the Capitol this past week. This could be symbolic of the return of the United States to its Christian roots.
The U.S. Capitol Hill recently bore witness to two historic events. Archbishop Timothy Broglio, President of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops and head of the Archdiocese for the Military Services, celebrated Holy Mass inside the Capitol on the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, the patroness of the Americas. Meanwhile, Reverend Patrick Mahoney, director of the Washington, D.C.-based Christian Defense Coalition, displayed a nativity scene on the southeastern steps of the U.S. Capitol and held prayers, Christmas carols, and a scripture reading of the birth of Jesus. Eucharistic celebrations within the Capitol had occurred previously on Easter Sunday 2023 and in January 2024, commemorating the anniversary of an FBI memo targeting traditional Catholics. However, the public display of a nativity scene on Capitol grounds is a historical first. The nativity scene display followed a prolonged legal battle spanning over a decade. Reverend Patrick Mahoney had faced repeated threats of arrest for attempting to read the Christmas story from the Bible and hold a nativity display near the Capitol Christmas tree. This legal struggle concluded in May 2024 when a court ruled that the steps of the U.S. Capitol are a public forum, affirming that peaceful demonstrations on its steps do not violate the law. These events signify a renewed visibility of Christian values at the U.S. Capitol, a reflection of the foundational principles upon which the United States was built.
In New Hampshire, a Democratic state representative reportedly collaborated with the Satanic Temple to place a statue of Baphomet, an occult deity, to the nativity scene erected by the Knights of Columbus Concord Council. The controversial statue was removed after 2 days following multiple attacks.
A satanic display featuring the occult deity Baphomet near the nativity scene on city property outside the New Hampshire State House was removed following multiple attacks. The Satanic Temple of New Hampshire and Vermont had installed the statue as part of a holiday display. The statue depicted Baphomet with yellow eyes wearing a purple stole with upside-down crosses and accompanied by a tablet with the temple's 7 fundamental tenets. According to New Hampshire Public Radio, State Representative Ellen Reed, a Democrat from Newmarket, had contacted the Satanic Temple months earlier to discuss the possibility of including such a display. According to the social media posts of City of Concord, the display was allowed to avoid litigation. It stated that the Satanic Temple had been making requests to install its monuments at holiday displays as a show of unity and religious pluralism. However, in an interview with the Boston Globe, Concord Mayor Byron Champlin expressed his opposition to the permit. He argued that the request was not made in good faith to promote religious equity, but rather to advance an anti-religious political agenda, leveraging the heightened visibility of holiday displays during this time of year. For years, the Knights of Columbus Concord Council have organized nativity displays outside the State House. Critics of the satanic display described it as a deliberate mockery of Christianity on state property, a move emblematic of a growing hostility towards Christianity.
The former CEO of Intel, Pat Gelsinger, urged his followers to pray and fast for the 100,000 employees of Intel as they transition from one leadership to the next. Gelsinger stepped down from his position as the CEO on December 1st after more than 3 decades at Intel. Pat Gelsinger, former CEO of Intel, one of the world's largest semiconductor manufacturers, recently announced on X that he would be praying and fasting for Intel's 100,000 employees. The 63-year-old engineer had recently stepped down from his role as CEO of Intel after spending 3 decades at the company, including the last 4 years as its CEO. Stating that leading Intel was the honor of his lifetime, Gelsinger expressed gratitude for his colleagues and the work they accomplished together. Pat Gelsinger, who had previously stated in an interview that we all work for God, not for a boss or the president of the company, has been a vocal proponent of work-life balance and prioritizing time with God. In his X post on Sunday, he revealed that he fasts for 24 hours and spends time in prayer every Thursday. Gelsinger also invited his followers to pray for Intel's employees as they navigate this difficult period of transition. Intel is currently being led by 2 senior leaders, David Zinsner and Michelle Johnston Holthus, as co-CEOs until a new CEO is appointed. A 90-year-old missionary sister who dedicated more than 2/3 of her life to serving the poor in Africa has passed away. Sister Maria Concetta Esu, a midwife who assisted in delivering over 40,000 children, died peacefully in Africa, fulfilling her heartfelt wish to remain among her people until the end.
Sister Maria Concetta Esu, a missionary sister of the Congregation of the Daughters of St. Joseph of Genoni, passed away on Thursday at the age of 90. Sister Maria had dedicated more than 6 decades of her life to serving in Africa. As a midwife, she helped deliver over 40,000 children, a remarkable testament to her selfless commitment. In recognition of her invaluable contributions, Pope Francis honored Sister Maria during a general audience in March 2019. When praised for her service, she humbly told the Holy Father, as she often told others, that she had done nothing more than others. Sister Maria deeply loved Africa and its people, and she wished to remain among them when the Lord called her home. This desire led her to return to Africa in July 2023 after a brief stay in Sardinia for medical treatment. Even in her later years, Sister Maria continued to serve as a midwife, assisting impoverished communities. Her unwavering dedication left a profound impression on Pope Francis, who reportedly urged her to return to Africa, recognizing the immense need for her care and compassion there.
The Dutch celebrated the feast of St. Lucia on December 13th, an important liturgical feast during the Advent season. St. Lucia's Day is especially significant in Scandinavian countries. In Copenhagen, Denmark, a kayak procession illuminated the canals in a stunning display of light and festivity.
Natten går tunga fjät runt gård och stuva kring jord som soln förlät skuggorna ruva drömmar med vingesus under oss sia tänd dina vita ljus Sankta Lucia. Trollsejd och mörkermakt, ljus
That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.